softer market across the board here again. What's going on?
Yeah, it is. It's another down market. We're fighting headwinds of that U.S. dollar that continues to push higher, making new highs almost every day. That's one thing that's weighing on our prices. We did have an export sale of soybeans, but it's our first ones of this week. And anytime you see these export sales, these are hedges against higher prices. Now, if we have lower prices, most likely these sales will be canceled before the shipments are sent out, and China or whoever the buyer ends up being will no doubt buy from South America if prices are cheaper and they have plentiful supplies. And certainly looks like by the weather conditions in the forecast down south, we're going to have very plentiful supplies of both corn and soybeans this year. So a lot of the corn sales that we've been seeing to Mexico, I don't think they will be canceled. And, we're going to ship that by rail to Mexico, but it's the Chinese purchases, the unknown destination purchases of soybeans that is concerning to me. It's concerning to the trade just from the idea that we may not be changing our balance sheets on the long term. These sales look good on paper, but in the long term, they'll likely end up being canceled.
Sure. And spilling over to livestock too or not?
Well, we've had some cash cattle trade that is a disappointment to the market here. Some bids in parts of Nebraska and Texas at 185, and we've seen a little bit of trade at Nebraska at that 185 and 290. So we're down $3 dressed and at least $2 on a live basis. It's a disappointment, I think, to the trade overall. A lot of the fundamentals are a little bit negative here for the cattle market in the near term. Now, longer term, I think that could change. We could see much higher prices in 2025, but I think you have to be defensive here in the near term because of negative packer margins, negative cutout values, and it looks like softer cash trade until we get into that tighter supplies.
Okay. Next week's weather system having an impact on these markets, cattle markets at all or not?
Doesn't look like it at all. A lot of times you talk blizzard or snow type conditions, you'll see the markets try and put in a little bit of weather premium, and that's certainly not the case at this point in time. We're just seeing right now anyway, we're just seeing this market here under some pressure from the softer cash trade, and maybe at some point we'll start talking about weather, but I think market probably believes, and hopefully if it's the case, that this is short-lived and we won't see this being very long-lasting.
Anything else we should be aware of or talking about?
Continue to watch the sizes of the soybean crops and Brazil's crops out in down south. Conab raised their production of Brazilian soybeans yesterday, and Rosario Grain Exchange raised their Argentina soybean crop. Just slight improvements, but it tells you that there's really not any crop issues or threats down south.
All right, very good. Thanks much, Brian. Appreciate it.